I know, I'm weird. I'm sorry. Hey there. Welcome to the very first episode of what I am dubbing the Curoiuser Contemplations podcast, where we explore creative problem-solving, technology-related business needs. I don't know. What do you need? An automated system of some kind? Do you need help with understanding email or task tracking systems? What is AI? How do I make QR codes? Why is everything so expensive? I don't know, but we can ask the questions and hopefully find answers together. I am in the business of being curious, and basically everything I do is Curoiuser. Curoiuser Designs is my LLC. I guess maybe I should start a little differently here. My name is Miriam Neal, and I am the owner and founder of Curoiuser Designs. I'm a tech consultant at, probably the easiest thing to describe me as, a technical consultant, but I'm a systems thinker, project leader, someone who believes that with the right tool, the right setup, the right process and control, when done right, your business can run like magic. I think automation is basically a form of technical magic. So actually, fun tangent really quick, if I were a D&D player as a person in my field, I would call myself probably a technomancer. And I have lots of examples where just my presence has fixed technology. So truly, this is what I believe. And if you're cool with that being my platform for why I'm good at what I do, then we're going to get along really well. I want to talk a little bit more about Curoiuser Designs because that's really the business that this podcast is going to be about. What it is, why it came to be, what I intend to do, maybe even why my name. Maybe let's start with that one. Why my name? It's so easy. It is exactly what you think it is. Lewis Carroll and Alice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass, whatever you know the story as. The statement Curoiuser and Curoiuser has just been etched into my soul, and everything I do is Curoiuser. I need to know everything. I love rules, and I need to know why they exist, why they do what they do, and sometimes that means I need to fix them when they're stupid. I love rules, but only rules that I don't think are stupid. But I ask a lot of questions, so Curoiuser makes sense to me. And then Designs was really just, uh, it was broad enough in definition that I could apply it to anything I want it to be. I have over 15 years experience in the marketing industry, graphic development, video production. I did a lot of not just in-hand items and, marketing swag, whatever, but digital presence, marketing strategy for a number of small businesses, and continue to, not so much the social media side of things, but more so branding, voice and strategy. That's really what I enjoy, is the strategy of things. And I can apply that to the tools that I now build. I love kind of the process of discovery, a little systems engineering nerd in me, I guess. And Curoiuser Designs is really intended to help small businesses with technology, and through those skills that I've earned, maybe even help them develop custom tools that better fit what they need, or utilize their tools in a way that's better for their business operations. So I really just want to be able to solve problems through automation, through technology, through the digital solutions that can be financially accessible to small businesses when you consider options and weigh needs against, what would actually is available. So I am just a person who asks way too many gosh darn questions, and I'm okay with that. And if you're okay with that and you're ready to ask some questions and learn then I think we're going to get along great. So I really just think that I can do things a little differently than the way they're done now. I do believe that in the last, decade, 2 decades, I mean, even in the last 5 years, 1 year, technology just continues to exponentially improve and embed itself into our daily lives. So if you're a small business and you touch digital information in some way, shape, or form, or your work is digital, or can be communicating in digital formats, then you really don't have an excuse not to be. I like to point out anybody still using a clipboard and paper could be utilizing some process improvements through technology. I used to work for a multinational food services corporation on campus, and we would do inventory once a week and on paper with pencil, and then digitally transcribe that into a system. That process could have been automated in some way, shape, or form, or at bare minimum improved by the use of an iPad directly in the inventory process, so that you mitigate the chance of somebody putting that information back into the system wrong, or potentially even capturing inventory mistakes, because you could integrate things like picture proof into those inventories for higher dollar items, or there's just a lot of ways that could have been improved. And I worked with a contractor recently who did a lot of their inspection work via a checklist on paper on a clipboard, for what arguably is an absolutely undigital thing, which is replacing wood floor. But the business administrative piece to replacing wood floor, and the coordination and the logistics and the everything about the business aspect of that blue collar task, it could be digital. It could be improved. And communication at bare minimum is one of those ways that it could be improved. And that's why I want to do what I do, is I want to help small businesses take advantage of the tools that big businesses are already taking advantage of, hopefully in a way that they can actually afford, but absolutely in a way that makes more sense for what they're doing or matches their operational desires. So, as a small business, I seek to serve small businesses. I'm a one-person show, so I don't really imagine myself, leading a giant team of auditors in some way, shape, or form. But I just want to work directly with small businesses in helping them achieve a better digital strategy, whether that's to be operational, whether that's to be marketing focused, whether that's to be logistics improvements, or analytically informed. Just help small businesses integrate with the technology that is available to them. And I'm so excited about the new ventures in AI. Even though there's still some ethical gray areas with that, it's really interesting to see the new developments in technology, and I am just so excited to explore those through this podcast. As a small business, I want to be able to not only discover, but inform owners of what could be done better, maybe potentially show them how it could be done better, and help them implement or develop a tool to make whatever that thing is. It is so variable what that could be. One of the first things that I automated was actually reports at a real estate firm, and these reports were sent out monthly, kind of irregardless of whether or not there were actual changes to the data. All of the process was the same. So week after week after week, I started recognizing that I'm making the same edits to the same documents with the same information. In some instances, there were changes to that information, but the application of formatting was all the same. And I just thought to myself, gosh, I know that there's a better way to do this. I don't have to be doing this the same way. So I started finding my own efficiencies in validating them against last month's report, and then going, nope, nothing changed. I'm not taking the time to format it. So I saved my own self time, but we were utilizing a tool called Salesforce that I knew could send automated emails of reports that could potentially even be formatted to look the same way as what I was doing manually. I'm telling you, we had, close to 500 listings with unique subcategories among those listings that were reflected in these reports. And that task of pulling, formatting, validating, and sending that information to the different listings, some of them obviously owned by the same people, arguably you could reduce that down to like maybe 300 emails if there was like a quarter of them were owned by the same people. But that task took 3 days. And I got quick enough that I could probably get it done in a full day if I was utilizing some of the shortcuts, which were sometimes like saving things as a PDF and just manually changing a date because nothing else had changed, or resending an old email, even just saying nothing had changed, or the small efficiencies I had done, but at best that was still a full day activity. Salesforce, I made the comment about like how it could be done in Salesforce, and they said, okay, if you think you can, do it. And I was like, all right, threaten me with a good time. That's just a direction to say, yes, please. So I went into Salesforce and formatted it, sent some practice emails, and showed them that while it wasn't 100% the same as the formatting that I was doing, it was still effectively the same information. And actually, we kind of made it look prettier because I put like pretty red headers and everything on it. But once we got that automated, I got 3 days back. And that was one of the best feelings in the entire world was I got free time back. So I love giving that back to other employees. And if your small business is burdened by that administrative type process, let's chat, because automation can be your friend. It can look at the same content, the same information, see what changes, and do something different with whatever that direction might be. And you know how we do that? We build rules. I love rules. So, that might be probably common threads through some of my theories is sort of the logic base that is automation and, digital process improvement. So, I ask a lot of people, why are you still doing that manually when there's an app for that? Or there could be an app for that. That's sort of my favorite. There could be. We could make one. So, some of the things I hope to talk about more in this podcast series is, kind of overcoming what some people might think as a scary transition, getting a little more integrated into the tech world. What I'm here to hopefully mitigate is your fear in working in tech. There's just better ways to do it. And paper and pencil, while effective and efficient in some places, is not in a lot of others. And there's never one way to do something. So I am hoping to help small businesses seek out alternative ways to accomplish the same things, perhaps through some process improvements. Consistency is my favorite. It's part of automation. Consistency becomes nature. It's part of it that it follows the same rules and logic and structure. So I just kind of want to challenge anybody who's maybe still using some of those tools that they've gotten really comfortable with. I know a lot of people in HR or payroll who have an Excel file that calculates one specific thing, or it pulls data from one place and puts it somewhere else because of some formula magic that somebody has formatted. And that's the kind of thing that I'm saying can be done better with some of the tools that are available now. Like if you've built something, I guarantee you that we could probably improve upon that concept and make it work better for your operation by improving upon it. If you know somebody with something like that in an Excel spreadsheet, I guarantee you that we could put that thing into a SharePoint site, a Dynamics site, a Power Pages, Hell, even an Access is better than an Excel spreadsheet, but they can do so much of the same things and more with the same concepts that somebody who is like me develops the system inside of the only thing they have accessible to them, which is oftentimes an Excel file. That's the kind of operational improvement I seek to do. Now, if you're not the kind of organization who has somebody with one of those killer spreadsheets, which not everybody's going to have one, I still guarantee you that there are ways that technology can improve your day-to-day business operations or processes in some way, shape, or form. So I do see technology, even in just information management, which is one of my favorite things to do with technology, is organize, sort, control information. It sort of like tickles my brain in a makes me happy kind of way to have data. Which is really what it all is, right? It all boils down to like a database. At least at my level, it actually, microscopically boils down further than that, zeros and ones and all that. But systems can be built. They don't have to be built in those old school ways anymore. They can be improved upon and potentially even, making your operation better. So that's what I'm hoping to seek out and communicate in these podcasts. So if any of that sounded interesting to you, or made you realize that in some way, shape, or form you might still be doing something a quote unquote hard way, then I'd love to talk to you and show you how technology can be the easy way. Maybe alleviate some fear about that process, that transition, communicate why it can be better for you. Thank you so much for your time and your ear and listening. You can find me at www.curoiuserdesigns.com, or I am on LinkedIn if you'd prefer to connect with me in a professional manner as well. Remember, curiosity is not just a luxury, it can be part of your strategy. So don't be afraid to ask a few more questions and explore a few more possibilities, especially in the realm of business operations. Thanks.